Happy New Year. Mrs. Centel here, sporting my Read shirt to bring you some new books from Junior Library Guild. So I haven't even broken into this box yet. Gotta try and press the sides in to get in here. There we go. I don't know if you knew that, but you don't need scissors to open the box. If you push the sides in, you can pull the tape. I didn't know that for the longest time. All right. It says hashtag show us your JLG. I'm going to show you my JLG. I love this box. I think the kind of like the word art on here is so cool. All right. We have in here another copy of the ever popular Alan Gratz Allies. So this is another historical fiction novel about World War II. If this is the first time you're hearing of this, it says the fate of the world is in their hands. June 6th, 1944. The Nazis are terrorizing Europe on their evil quest to conquer the world. The only way to stop them? The biggest, most top-secret endeavor ever, with the Allied nations coming together to storm German-occupied France. Welcome to D-Day. D, a young U.S. soldier, is on a boat racing toward the French coast. And D, along with his brothers in arms, is terrified. He feels the weight of World War II on his shoulders. But D is not alone. Behind enemy lines in France, a girl named Samira works as a spy, trying to sabotage the German army. Meanwhile, paratrooper James leaps from his plane to join a daring midnight raid. And in the thick of battle, Henry, a medic, searches for lives to save. In a breathtaking race against time, they must all fight to complete their high-stakes missions. But with betrayals and deadly risks at every turn, can the Allies do what it takes to win? Best-selling author Alan Gratz weaves a stunning array of voices and stories into an epic, action-packed tale about teamwork in the face of tyranny, and just how just one day can change the world. So I love Alan Gratz. I love historical fiction. I've read 2 of his novels. They both were fantastic. If you're someone who likes multiple narrators, multiple voices, this is also something that you would like, because as you could tell by that synopsis, they're going to be going through those multiple stories, kind of similar to how he does in his book Refugee, if you're familiar with that. So definitely one on my to-read list, and maybe I'll do a first chapter read of this one in another video. I have Iggys World. See that praying mantis there? This is a sci-fi, oh, hang on, it's blocked off on the back, so it's really hard for me to read what this is about. The only part I can read here is, but it's not until Iggy embarrasses his sister on air that his podcast really takes off. He's thrilled with his own success, but then she fires back. Now it's an all-out war. Okay, so even though it shows the picture of the praying mantis on the front, it is more of a traditional narrative type of story. It's not nonfiction. Since I can't read the back, I'll read a page. So it says here, episode 1. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is the mic on my phone working? Check. I'll have to keep my voice down. My dad's filming a show right now. I am recording this podcast just off the set. Here we go. Welcome to Iggys World. Hi, I'm your host, Iggy Zambini, and you're listening to the episode 1 of Iggys World, a podcast about insects. I know, insects make your skin crawl, but don't tune out yet. This podcast isn't just about bugs. For example, today I'm recording this from the set of the sci-fi web series Great Big Bugs in Space, because, the show is about great big bugs in space. My dad, Joe Zambini, is the director of the show. Maybe you've heard of him. He produced and directed the mystery web series In a Pickle, The Pickle Factory Murders. Okay, maybe you didn't hear about that one. What about Sock Knitters Showdown? It's a reality show about knitters competing to make the best socks. Heard of that one? Yeah, I'm guessing not. But Dad's latest project is a hit. Sort of. At least it has a small cult following. People like to watch Great Big Bugs in Space because it's so cheesy. The costumes and sets are super cheap, and corny. I can see a guy over in the corner dressed as a giant beetle. Mom made his shell from a tinfoil roasting pan. She bought it at the dollar store and spray painted it black. That hopefully gives you a sense of what that book's about, because I don't know that it's very obvious from that cover. All right, so we have Indian No More by Charlene Willing McManus with Tracy Sorrell. Regina Petit's family has always been Umpqua, and living on the Grand Road Tribe's reservation is all 10-year-old Regina has ever known. Her biggest worry is that Sasquatch may actually exist out in the forest. But when the federal government enacts a law that says Regina's tribe no longer exists, Regina becomes Indian No More overnight, even though she lives with her tribe and practices tribal customs, and even though her ancestors were Indian for countless generations. Now that they've been forced from their homeland, Regina's father signs the family up for the federal Indian relocation program and moves them to Los Angeles. Regina finds a whole new world in her neighborhood on 58th Place. She's never met kids of other races, and they've never met a real Indian. For the first time in her life, Regina comes face to face with the viciousness of racism, personally and toward her new friends. Meanwhile, her father believes that if he works hard, their family will be treated just like white Americans. But it's not that easy. It's 1957 during the Civil Rights era, and the family struggles without their tribal community and land. At least Regina has her grandmother, Cheech, and her stories. At least they are all together. In this moving middle grade novel drawing upon Umpqua author Charlene Willing McManus's own tribal history, Regina must find out, who is Regina Petit? Is she Indian, American, or both? And will she and her family ever be okay? So another historical fiction novel, my favorite genre. We also have Patricia Riley Giff, A Slip of a Girl. And Patricia Riley Giff is a 2-time Newbery Honor winner. And this one is another historical novel. And on the back, the book list review says it's a vivid, involving historical novel. And Kirkus Reviews says that Giff has the rare gift of using few words to evoke strong and varied images and feelings. Readers will be riveted. The family farm is everything to Anna. The stone wall where she sits with her best friend Liam, the fields of chickweed and lumpers for tea and supper. She promises her ailing mem that she'll always look after their home and her youngest sister, Nuala, who needs extra care. When their landlord, an English earl who owns much of the land in her part of County Longford, tries to seize their farm for sheep pasture, Anna is faced with an impossible choice. Give up her house to be destroyed or face imprisonment. There are whispers of a growing rebellion in the county, but how can one girl stand up to the Earl's dreaded battering ram? Poetry, family accounts, and unforgettable young heroine combine in this deeply personal look at the Irish Land War. So it's about the Irish Land War. Ooh, this cover looks very cool. Lily the Thief. Check that out. And yep, I figured it's a graphic novel. And of course, I can't really read much of the back. It says about her being a master thief, a guild master. Talks about long forgotten gods and destroying the whole world. That's what I could get out of the back. But if you're a graphic novel fan, come and check this one out. Brand new graphic novel. We have here Mighty Mo, Rachel Swaby, and Kit Fox. The true story of a 13-year-old woman's running revolutionary. It says in 1967, they said she couldn't run. Maureen Wilton did, and she broke a world record. Then she stopped running. Why? We have Rick Riordan presents Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. So if you're a Rick Riordan fan, or I don't know if it's Riordan or Riordan, I've think it's Riordan. 7th grader Tristan Strong feels anything but strong ever since he failed to save his best friend when they were in a bus accident together. All he has left of Eddie is the journal his friend wrote stories in. Tristan is dreading the month he's going to spend on his grandparents' farm in Alabama, where he's being sent to heal from the tragedy. On his first night there, a sticky creature shows up in his bedroom and steals Eddie's journal. Tristan chases it. Is that a doll? Through the forest, and a tug of war ensues by his grandmother's mysterious and off-limits bottle tree. In a last attempt to wrestle the journal out of the creature's hands, Tristan punches the tree, accidentally ripping a hole in the sky above Midpass, a volatile place with a burning sea, haunted bone ships, and iron monsters that are hunting the inhabitants of this strange world. Tristan finds himself in the middle of a battle that has left Black American gods John Henry and Brer Rabbit exhausted. In order to get back home, Tristan and these new allies will need to entice the god Anansi, the Weaver, to come out of hiding and seal the hole in the sky. But bartering with the trickster Anansi always comes at a price. Can Tristan save this world before he loses more of the things he loves? And the last book here I have is Jason Reynolds' Look Both Ways. And this is actually another copy. So I have a few copies of this one. So if you're interested in this and maybe you want to read it with a friend, we have at least two copies of that one. And that's that. That's all the books for this month's shipment. So hopefully you saw something in there that you like. And I have still tons of new books. If you've seen any of my last or more recent videos, you'll see that we got lots and lots of different new books in all different genres. So make sure you stop by and check out what we have available and find something that you like to read. Thanks for watching.